Hello, welcome to Zest Prime. As part of this video, we are going to understand how to read a property file specific to an environment. How to read a property file specific to an environment. So as per the previous video, we have seen reading the property files in all environments like user.properties and application.properties, and these two properties are common to all environments. Now we are going to see how to maintain a different set of properties or property file for a specific to a configuration like development, UAT and prod. So how we are going to maintain a property file specific to one environment. So or how we are going to share the properties between the environment. So that we are going to understand by using Spring Profiles Active attribute. So by using this attribute Spring Profiles Active, you can able to activate one profile at a time, or you can able to read the property file properties from across the properties whichever is currently enabled. So that we are going to see it. Basically this will be very helpful when you are maintaining a different set of configurations for a specific to one environment. So that we are going to understand it. So without wasting time, let's create a simple hello world Spring Boot application. With that we are going to understand this Spring Profiles Active configuration. So as like usual, so we are going to create a Spring Boot application with the help of Spring initialization. So this is the Spring initialization, and you will be getting this URL as part of this video description. And now we will start creating the Spring Boot application first. So let me select Java Maven and select the released version and give the group ID, artifact ID. Okay, so Spring Boot active profiles config, so that we are going to use as our artifact name, and let me keep the package name as Spring Test and jar, and let me use the JDK 20. So these are the configuration I just selected in initializer project, and let me add corresponding dependencies. So I'm going to use the web. We are going to create a REST service to test this one, and I'm going to use the Spring Boot dev tool because it will reload the application whenever you are changing the properties or Java changes. So let me add again the last one. Yeah, I think these two is enough. This is we are going to use the creating REST service, and we are going to use the to reload our application for every changes. We are going to use the dev tools. So these are the two dependencies are enough to test this functionality. To that, generate it. So you will be getting the zip file, and take that zip file and keep into your specific location wherever you are interested, and then unzip it. So this is the unzip version, and take this one and come back here and import into your Eclipse. Finish. So your basic Spring Boot project is ready. So inside that, to understand this concept, so I am going to create a simple REST service. So I'm going to make this as my controller. Finish it. Is the REST controller. So inside that I'm going to create a simple API which will return some string. So I'm going to annotate this as a get mapping. So what it will do, it will try to return a simple string as a name. So that's all. So this is a simple REST service we have built, and it will return a simple text whenever you are calling it, right? So this is the way you can able to test it. And as part of this project creation, you will be getting one of the default application.properties which is generated, so you can use this one. So as part of my testing, I'm going to use app name equal to Zest Prime, or let me give env equal to dev. So I want to know which environment the application is running. To understand this one, I'm going to create an environment variable called development. Similarly, I want to differentiate SIT specific environment properties. So how can I do that one? So let me create another set of properties. This is only for SIT. And similarly, I want to maintain my own version of prod version. So here the rule we need to follow whenever we are trying to create a different set of environment set of property files, we have to use this naming conversion application hyphen, and then you can give any name. You can give SIT, UAT, dev prod, whatever, but the naming conversion should be application hyphen the name. We have to differentiate with hyphen between the your environment and application. So this is the way you have to give the naming conversion when you are trying to activate these properties with the help of Spring Profiles Active. So the default one is application.properties and application-prod application dev. You can create like this as many environments as you wish with just by separating hyphen and then followed by environment name. So this is the way you can able to create the property files, and you can keep the data specific to as your environment. So application SIT properties, I'm going to give the application name sorry, environment as SIT, and in prod environment I'm going to give it as a prod. So this is the way I can able to create different set of properties, and I can able to give the corresponding property file data. So first step is you have to follow this naming conversion and try to give the data points as per your wish, right? So now our property files are ready, and I want to read the property file in my file name, in my controller. So as per the previous video, we have seen how to read the property file, right? So we have to use value, keyword, attribute, and inside that we have to use dollar brace, and inside that you can place the which field you want to read it. Key name, you can take the key name and you can keep it here. So this we have seen in the previous video also, how to read the property file field inside your Java class, right? So you have to use the value, keyword, and then followed by environment with the help of dollar brace symbol, and then you can use this one in your Java class. So what I'm trying to do here, I want to display my app name. I'm going to give the Zest Prime. So this is my app name, and I want to display the environment where my application is running. It's running in development or SIT or prod. So that's what I want to do it. So if application.properties is loaded, so dev should be displayed. If application-prod should be loaded, then it should display the prod, right? But how to activate these profiles, or how to read a specific properties based on the environment, so that we are going to see it. So that's the main purpose of this video. So as for the previous video, we have seen how to run this application, right? So you can run your Spring Boot application, then you can able to access your endpoint. So right now I have not configured any profiles. I just ran the application, and then we just need to notice this a log very carefully. So if you see the log, right, we can see one of the line here. No active profile set, falling back to one default profile called default. So by default we are not doing any active profile setting, then it is considering the active profile as a default. So whenever you are using active profile as a default, then it will try to use the application.properties. So how to ensure whether it is reading application.properties, right? So go back to your console, localhost slash name, and you can able to see it, Zest Prime application name and dev. So the dev we have defined the value in application.properties. So basically whenever you are not activating any profile, it is using default profile, and based on that it will try to use the corresponding property file as a default is application.properties, right? So this is the way you can able to activate the profile, but still now we have not activated any profile, it's using default profile. So now I want to activate the profile when I'm running my application Eclipse. So how to activate it? So before that, let me start it. So now I want to activate it. So run, not controller, Spring Boot application, run. So I want to add some configuration parameters, right? So for that you can select run configuration, and then you'll be getting this window. You can go to augments. So here you need to specify the activation profile parameter. So for that we have to use spring.profiles.active equal to which profile you want to activate. So we have two set of profiles here. Default, anyway we don't need to specify anything. You can activate SIT, you can activate prod. So first I want to activate SIT. So -d, after that you can give spring profiles.active, and you can give the whichever the environment you are interested, and that naming conversion should be after application hyphen, whatever name is there you have to give the same name here, and then apply, run. Yes, now you can see here the following one of the profile is active called sit, right? So SIT is the profile got activated now. Previously it was displaying here default, right? So now how can you ensure this SIT profile is activated and working, right? So that you can come back here, just refresh here, so then you can able to see the SIT. So basically you are in SIT environment, and your application hyphen SIT profile is active. So this is the way you can able to activate your profile specific to our environment with the help of Eclipse. Let me do the same thing for prod. So before doing that one, I have to stop the Eclipse and come back here, run configuration, and go to augments, and come back here, spring profiles active. You can change it here, whichever environment you are interested to activate it. Apply, run. So now you can see here the following one profile is active called prod, and run it, and come back here. You just refresh this URL, and you can see prod is activated. So this is the way you can able to activate any specific profile in your environment by using the Eclipse. Say for instance, I want to activate two profile at a time. Is it possible? How to do that one? Yes, it is possible. You can able to activate multiple profiles also at the same time. But how you are going to benefit here? So whenever you are trying to load multiple environment or spring profiles at a time, so then it will try to use the first it will try to use the application properties, and then which profile is activated and the sequence it will follow. Say for instance I want to activate both prod and SIT, but generally we should not do in real time this one, but just for our academic purpose we are trying to activate this one. Let me activate. So before activating, so how we are going to test it? So let me go to here. In SIT or in SIT I want to declare an environment called name. So here just prime. So I want to declare a parameter only in SIT, not in another environment, and this one I want to read it. So this one I want to read it. So go to your controller, and how you are going to read it? Simple, you just copy this one, paste it here, name, can give here name, and then now I don't want to hard code this one. I want to read my app name from the my property file name. So name is there here, and I have declared here a name, right? So basically I don't want to read my so I don't want to read, I don't want to hard code my um, application name. I don't want to hard code my application name into controller, so that I want to read it from my one of the property files. So that's what I'm trying to do over here. Okay, now stop it. So and similar application properties name I want to keep it in all the environment initially, in prod as well. So name is there, I had given some of the value and I'm trying to read it here, and right now the name is same, the keyword or is same, is available in all property file. So what I have to do, I want to test this one. So let me run it as configuration by enabling fraud, run it. So right now prod is running, and let me test it whether it's working or not. So you can see Zest Prime is working and it's loading the prod profile. So now what I want to do here, I want to use two active profiles, and I don't want to use, so basically I want to use a default profile or SIT UIT together, and I want to remove from here. I don't want to use default one, and I want to use both prod and SIT, right? And I want to configure the application name only in prod. So basically if you see here in default there is no name, in SIT no name, in only in prod this is available, right? So now when I'm going to activate these profiles, so you can mention here how many profiles you want to activate it. SIT. So basically I want to activate two profiles, and let me test it. So port is already in use, so let me stop it and let me run it again back. So prod SIT is there, run it. So we can see here the following two profiles are active, prod and SIT. So basically two profiles or two active profiles are active, and these two properties configurations are read in this sequence, and whichever is coming in the last it will be active, and whichever is not available in SIT that will be taken care from the prod profile. So that is the way the priority will be assigned here. The high priority will be SIT. If it is not there any property here, then it will try to use the the previous property file. So now come back here, read it here. So basically, so it is using the environment as SIT, like I said, right? So the first high priority will be SIT. If it is not there in the property, then it will try to use the prod. So this is the way you can able to activate multiple profiles, and how it is going to read the properties based on the order you are going to activate the profiles. So high priority is the latest one, and the next priority is the last before one. So this is the way you can able to activate multiple profiles, and you can able to share the configuration properties between the environments or between the profiles. Now we are, so far we have used the Eclipse to activate the profiles, right? So now I don't want to use the Eclipse, but I want to use the Java jar command. So this is the way in production environment we are going to use it, right? So to use that one, so we need to generate a jar. So I'm going to use the maven install command, and it will try to generate a jar version. So that we are going to use it to test the Spring Boot profile activation. Yes, so here it's a problem here. So basically here when I'm trying to run or creating the uh, jar, so it is trying to execute the JVM, sorry, JUnits. So when it's running the JUnits, it will try to use the default profile. In default profile there is no name, so it is failing. So let me give the default profile activation name also over here, so that you will not get any issue, because otherwise JUnits are failing. So let me rerun again. So your jar creation is completed successfully. Okay, now let me open command window in this location, and then we will try to run your jar application. Okay, so this is the, yes, okay, this is the place our application is there, and inside that we have a target folder. Inside that we have a jar file, right? So inside that we have a jar over here. So this is the jar. So let me move into the jar location, sorry, target file location, and inside that we have a jar over here. So this is the jar we are going to use it to execute profile activation. So for that, as per the previous video, we have seen how to run the Spring Boot application with the java-jar command, right? After that you have to give the jar name. After that you have to specify the property called Spring Profiles Activation. So how to use, or what is the syntax? spring.profiles.active equal to which profile you want to activate it, so that you need to specify over here. So first, for the testing I want to activate first now SIT profile, or I don't want to activate any profile, I just want to run it to see how it will behave. Don't activate any profile, just run it. You see here, right? So I have not specified any profiles over here. So it is saying no active profile set and falling back to one default profile default. So let me test my application. Okay, let me refresh again. Let me reload browser. Okay, let me stop and start the server one more time. Yeah, this is now it's loaded properly. So come back here. You can see over here. So it is trying to load the dev as a default property file, right? So now I want to activate my own profile. So how to do that one? Java hyphen jar name hyphen spring dot profiles dot active equal to which profile you want to activate it. I want to activate it SIT alone. Press enter. So you can see over here. So you can see here the following one active profile is active SIT. So that means so your profile is active called SIT. I just got closed. Let me rerun again. So you can see here the active profile is SIT because I had given here hyphen spring profiles active equal to SIT. So the profile is activated. So basically we had to use hyphen spring profiles equal to active to activate whichever profile you are interested, and then come back here, refresh. Some problem. Yes. So now the application reloaded properly. Now come back here and refresh. So we can see here SIT is activated. So currently SIT profile is activated. We can see over here SIT. So now I want to activate multiple profiles here. So how to do that one? This is also similar what you have done in the Eclipse. So you just come here, try to press up arrow and you will be getting the previous command, and then you have to specify the multiple active profiles by separating the comma. That's it. So here I want to activate two profiles at a time, but generally we should not do this kind of profiles activation SIT and prod at a time, but this is just for academic purpose. We are trying to learn it. Press enter. So we can see over here there are two active profiles are active now currently, SIT and UIT, right? So this is the way you can able to activate any number of profiles as per your wish. Still the server is not completely up. Let me test it. Yes, now you can able to see the prod. So basically I have activated the profiles first SIT and then followed by prod. So the prod is high priority. So that's what you are seeing, the environment is a prod. So like I said, right, in the prod property file you have a name, so it is using it. In SIT we don't have it, so the high priority is for prod, so it is using the high priority. From the prod property file it is trying to read the all environment parameters or properties. So this is the way you can able to activate the profiles by using the spring profiles active, and then followed by you can give the set of environments, one or more than one, and the corresponding property files will be activated and that will be used by your application. I think that's all about this video, and if you like the video you can subscribe the channel for more subsequent updates, and thanks for your time. Thank you.